My name's John Edward, and I'm part of the other campaign, the Scotland Stronger in Europe campaign. And we're part of the campaign. We've got Wales, we've got Northern Ireland, and we've got London, England as well. And our basic message is that we think you'd be better off, you'd be safer, and you'd be stronger if we stayed in the European Union. And there's all sorts of reasons for that, some of which I think are personal. I think it's an amazing thing that we've done, that we've managed to get 28 countries, some of which used to be run by the military, some of which used to be run by the Soviet Union, some of which were invaded several times by the Germans, have all managed to come together in friendship and cooperation, and we've seen the longest period of peace in Europe for history for that. So I think it's a good thing in itself that we've come together, but it's what we've done when we've come together. So it's not coming together to be a political country. We don't want to be a single country of Europe. Nobody wants to take France away from the French or Luxembourg away from the Luxembourgers. But it's to try and get a system where we can work together in a way that no one's ever worked together before. So it doesn't look like the United States, and it doesn't look like Scotland, and it doesn't look like Britain. It's a collection of 28 countries who've all agreed to hold each other to the same rules, the same standards, the same rights, and the same protections. So every right and responsibility you have here in Edinburgh is a right that you have in Poland or in Italy or in Greece. Now that matters if you're travelling there, but it also matters if you're buying anything from there to here. You know that the people who are producing it are working to the same standards. You know that the people who live there are being looked after to the same level. And you know that everybody's trying to be brought up to the same level. So that's fundamentally what the European Union aims to do. And it does it in all sorts of areas, like the environment, trying to make sure that air quality and water quality is the same around Europe, trying to make sure that working standards are the same for everybody, wherever they are, trying to make sure that the goods you buy and the food you eat is at the same quality and that everybody's producing it to the same level. And just generally to make sure that nobody's in a situation where they can be competed against. And I think, despite what Jim says, it is a democratic system. It's not like Holyrood, and it's not like the Parliament in London, because it's different. It is 28 countries altogether. Getting 28 people to agree is hard enough, never mind 28 countries. But no law can pass in Brussels that affects you every day without your elected MEPs passing it, and without your elected government minister passing it. And even the commissioners that Jim mentioned are chosen by your government. So it is democratic. You have a voice there, and importantly, it's got a court as well. So unlike any other body elsewhere in the world, if you don't like something that's happened, or you feel your rights have been taken away, or you feel that someone else is getting a better advantage than you, like everybody else in the European Union, have the equal right to take them to court. And that happens all the time in terms of trade, in terms of equal opportunities, in terms of rules in the workplace, and so on. So I think it's really important that we built this thing up, and remember why we built this thing up. It was to try and keep everybody together, safe and prosperous. And also looking forward, we have no idea how the world's going to look in 20 or 50 years. You know, we've now got terrorist threats of people who don't even come from one country. We've got companies that are all over the place. But at least this way we have a community of almost 500 million people who all want the same thing, who all held to the same standards, who all want to live to the same level. And on top of that, who all want the rest of the world to come with us. So we spend a huge amount in humanitarian aid to other countries, and also making sure that if the Chinese trade with us, or the Mexicans trade with us, that they trade at the same standards. So I think, personally, it's good for us. I think it's good for us in Scotland for all the things that we produce and all the things that we want to do. I think it's good for Britain, and I think it's good for all of Europe. And I'm confident that staying in the status quo is much safer and better for us than a jump into the darkness, which I'm afraid that leave might look like. So that's what we're talking about between now and the 23rd of June. Thank you.